Hey, it's Mr. Surface. We did a great job writing that TDA the first week, but now it's time to write even more TDAs. All right, so we got to make sure we mastered dramatic irony. We got to make sure we still know how to organize our essays, and we got to make sure we know what's going on with the play. So let's take a look at one of the samples that a student did. They were responding to this, and you can see the prompts reflected in their thesis, which is key. All right, the prompt said, what's the function? What's the use? What's the reason that dramatic irony is used in this play? In the Diary of Anne Frank 1, there's a huge dramatic irony, or you would just say, I wouldn't say huge, I would say there's dramatic irony that the audience knows but the characters don't, right? The fact that they're all going to die. And he points that out here. And you can see he has a clever little picture to go with it, too. The book's about a Jewish girl named Anne Frank who lives with her family and the Van Damme family who were also Jewish. He also wrote a diary of how life is going when the Nazis took over. The book doesn't take place when Anne and her family are there in 1942. The novel takes place in 1945, where Mr. Frank is the only one alive. Everybody, even Anne, were dead except for Mr. Frank. Right? They do a really great job, and they even have a phrase from the notes back in time from 1945 back to 1942. And they mentioned that on the next page as well. Shrink your thing. There we are. Right? And there's Mr. Frank right there reading the diary. But this goes back in time to show the dramatic irony. They don't know that soon they're going to die, but we do. It would be good if we mentioned years here. It would make it a little bit clear. But we do. Anne left a diary that describes all the details. Burn them. Burn all of them. I love this context, and I love how it flows straight into the quote. Burn them, all of them. Burn this. She hands him a paper-bound notebook. Quietly, Anne's diary. He opens the diary and begins to read. Monday, the 6th of July, 1942. To Meep. 1942, is it possible, Meep? Only 3 years ago. These lines showcase that Anne's diary is still there and that everyone died. If Mr. Frank burned the diary, we wouldn't have this play. It's important that we got this book because we wanted, and then I stopped, and he stopped writing too. He ran out of time. But he could go on to say it drives the plot. The function of knowing this means that everything the characters say has some sort of thematic meaning or import. Okay? I want to show you one more sample. Let's take a look, see. We'll look another more beautiful illustrations from a talented 8th grade. Tension is central to a plot. The function of dramatic irony in Act 1 is it builds this tension. Dramatic irony in Anne Frank builds tension. Now, you might think, oh, that's repetitive. Being repetitive is what a TDA is all about. You want to ensure that you know what the prompt is. In the text, the dramatic irony that Mrs. Van Damme keeps teasing Peter about him and Anne are going to get married, when in reality, Peter hates Anne's guts, and this is creating tension between the two characters, right? There's that word tension even mentioned in the context. Ooh, that rhymed, right? Perfect. I heard about you, how you talk so much in class. They called you Mrs. Quack Quack, right? They have this perfect topic sentence, this perfect context, and perfect quote. They really, really did a nice job. Okay, let's take a moment and pause it.